Life doesn't always make sense, does it? Sometimes the kindest, most generous people face the hardest battles, leaving us to wonder why the world can be so unfair. But what if I told you there's more to these struggles than meets the eye? What if the very pain we try to avoid holds the key to understanding life's greatest truths? This isn't just another conversation about hardship, it's a deep dive into the unseen forces that shape our lives. We'll explore why bad things happen to good people, not just to answer the question, but to uncover the lessons hidden within. By the end, you'll see life's challenges in a way you never have before, and it might just change how you view everything. Stay with me, because this isn't about sadness or despair, it's about hope, strength, and the power to turn pain into purpose. Chapter 1. Why do bad things happen, and what do they mean? What does bad really mean? We often think something is bad when it feels wrong, unfair, or hurts us or others. But here's an important idea. If bad things didn't happen, how would we know what good things are? If everything in life was perfect all the time, we wouldn't appreciate happiness, kindness, or fairness. It's like needing darkness to understand what light is. Bad things help us see and value the good things in life. Sometimes bad things happen randomly. A storm doesn't avoid someone just because they are nice. A sickness doesn't skip over a kind person. These things don't happen because of who we are. They just happen. It's like rain. It falls on everyone, no matter if they are good or bad. That randomness can feel scary, but it also teaches us that not everything is under our control. When bad things happen to good people, it makes us feel that something is wrong. This feeling helps us understand what is unfair. It's this sense of unfairness that teaches us to care for each other. For example, if we see someone being treated badly, we feel sad for them and want to help. This is how we learn about kindness and helping others. Sometimes, seeing bad things happen inspires us to make the world better. Think about times in history when people saw unfairness, like someone being treated badly just because of who they are. Those moments often push others to stand up, fight for justice, and create change. So, even though bad things hurt, they can also lead to important lessons and actions. Bad things also remind us how important it is to stick together. When one person struggles, others often step in to help. This helps us become stronger as a group. We learn how to support each other and build a world where kindness matters more. Religious and philosophical teachings also talk about why hard times matter. In the Bible, there's a saying, "Suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope." This means that even though hard times hurt, they can make us stronger and teach us to never give up. Many people believe that without these challenges, we wouldn't grow into better, wiser, and kinder people. Bad things happening to good people can feel confusing and unfair, but they serve a purpose. They help us understand life's balance. They remind us to value good moments, to stand up for what's right, and to support each other. And most importantly, they show us how strong we can be when life gets tough. Chapter 2. How bad things can turn into something good. Sometimes things that feel bad in the moment can end up bringing good into our lives later. Imagine going through a tough time and thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" But then, after some time, you realize that the experience taught you something important, helped you grow, or led to a better opportunity. Bad things don't always stay bad forever. Think about a rainy day. At first, the rain might seem annoying. It ruins your plans or makes everything feel gloomy. But after the rain stops, it helps flowers grow, fills rivers with water, and refreshes the earth. In the same way, challenges in life can lead to positive changes we don't see right away. For example, let's say someone loses their job. It might feel scary and unfair at first, but later, That person might find an even better job that makes them happier, or they might discover a new skill or passion they never knew they had. The bad experience becomes a stepping stone to something good. Many people share stories about how their hardest times helped them grow. For instance, someone who went through a big failure might say, "That experience taught me to work harder and never give up." Or a person who faced betrayal might say, "I learned how to choose better friends and protect my heart." These lessons are hard to learn, but they make us stronger and wiser. Even in nature, we see this idea. A caterpillar has to struggle inside its cocoon to become a butterfly. Without that struggle, it wouldn't grow strong enough to fly. In the same way, our struggles can help us grow in ways we didn't expect. Sometimes bad things also help us understand what really matters in life. When everything is going well, we might take things for granted, our health, our loved ones, or even small joys like a sunny day. But when we face tough times, we start to appreciate these things more. We realize how important they are and learn to cherish them. History also shows how struggles can lead to greatness. Many famous people faced hard times before achieving success. For example, Thomas Edison failed hundreds of times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't give up, and his failures taught him what didn't work, which eventually led to success. His story reminds us that bad moments can be stepping stones to something incredible. Bad times also teach us empathy. When we go through pain, we can better understand the pain of others. This makes us more compassionate and willing to help. For example, someone who has experienced loss might become better at comforting others who are grieving. Their struggle gives them the strength to lift others up. It's important to remember that life is like a journey with hills and valleys. The valleys, or the low points, might feel hard to walk through, but they make us appreciate the view when we reach the top of the hill. Without the hard times, we wouldn't value the good times as much. In the end, bad things don't always stay bad. They can teach us lessons, help us grow, and lead to better things. Sometimes it just takes time to see the good that can come out of them. Batch 3. Why hard times? Help us grow. Bad things often feel like obstacles in our lives, but they play a big role in shaping who we are. Without challenges, we wouldn't grow emotionally, mentally, or even spiritually. Think about it. The strongest trees grow in the windiest places. Just like those trees, we become stronger when we face tough times. Hardships force us to confront situations we might not want to face. They push us out of our comfort zones and make us think, act, and adapt in ways we never thought possible. For example, imagine someone who has always relied on others for support. If they suddenly face a challenge alone, they might discover their inner strength and realize they are more capable than they believed. Struggles teach us resilience, which is our ability to bounce back after setbacks. It's like building a muscle. Every time you push through something difficult, your resilience grows stronger. Over time, this makes it easier to face future challenges. Think of a mountain climber who starts with small hills and works their way up to taller mountains. Each climb makes them stronger, more skilled, and more confident in their abilities. There's also a sense of perspective that comes with hard times. When we go through pain, loss, or failure, it changes how we see the world. We start to understand what really matters: family, health, kindness, and love. The little annoyances of daily life suddenly don't seem as important when we've faced something bigger. Even spiritual growth often comes from hardship. Many religious and philosophical teachings emphasize the importance of struggles in shaping our character. For instance, the Bible says, "Suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." This means that when we endure tough times, we grow stronger, wiser, and more hopeful. Struggles refine us, much like fire refines gold. Hardships also teach us humility. When everything goes our way, it's easy to feel invincible. But when we face setbacks, we're reminded of our limits. This isn't a bad thing. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. For example, someone who has always been successful might experience failure for the first time. That failure can teach them to be more understanding of others and more grateful for their achievements. Another important lesson we learn from tough times is gratitude. When life is smooth, we might take things for granted, a loving family, a safe home, or even good health. But when we experience loss or hardship, we start to see these things as the blessings they are. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, bringing more joy and peace into our lives. Think about the way adversity builds connections with others. When you share your struggles, you often find that others have faced similar challenges. This shared experience creates empathy and brings people closer together. For example, someone who has overcome financial difficulties might help someone else going through the same thing. Hard times remind us that we're not alone and that our experiences can inspire and support others. Hardships are also a way for us to grow emotionally. When we face pain, we learn how to process difficult emotions like sadness, anger, and fear. This emotional growth helps us handle life's ups and downs with more balance and maturity. For instance, someone who has gone through heartbreak might emerge stronger, learning how to love and trust again with wisdom and caution. Life without challenges would be stagnant. Just like a plant needs sunlight, water, and even storms to grow, we need a mix of joy and struggle to become our best selves. Challenges don't make life easy, but they make life meaningful. They help us discover who we are and what we're capable of. Hard times are not the end of the story. They're part of the process. They shape us, teach us, and prepare us for the next chapter. Chapter 4. When we may invite challenges and the bigger picture of life. It's hard to admit, but sometimes the struggles we face are partly influenced by our own choices, habits, or perspectives. Even good people, with their kind hearts and generous intentions, can unknowingly create situations that lead to hardship. This doesn't mean we deserve bad things. It means that life is complex, and our actions and beliefs can play a role in what happens to us. One example is how we treat ourselves. Many people are kind and giving to others, but neglect their own well-being. Imagine someone who is always helping others, but never rests or asks for help themselves. Over time, this self-neglect can lead to burnout, health issues, or emotional struggles. Their kindness to others becomes the very thing that makes life harder for them because they forget to include themselves in that kindness. Another way we invite challenges is through pride or blind spots in our behavior. Sometimes we may take pride in being selfless or strong, but this pride can make it hard for us to ask for help or admit when we're struggling. For example, someone might think, "I can handle everything on my own," and avoid leaning on others for support. This can lead to feelings of isolation or overwhelm, even though their intentions were good. There are also times when our desire to do good can backfire. For instance, someone who is overly trusting might attract people who take advantage of them. Their kindness isn't the problem. It's the lack of boundaries that allows others to misuse their trust. This doesn't mean being kind is wrong. It means learning to balance kindness with wisdom. Life also has a way of teaching us lessons through hardship. Sometimes challenges arise to help us grow in areas we might not even realize we need. A person who is overly self-sacrificing might face a situation where they're forced to prioritize themselves for once, or someone who avoids confrontation might face a situation where they have no choice but to stand up for themselves. These moments, though painful, push us to grow and become more balanced individuals. Beyond personal experiences, there's a bigger picture to consider. The struggles we face often connect to something larger than ourselves. They might shape how we influence others, the choices we make in the future, or even how we leave an impact on the world. For example, someone who has faced hardship might use their experience to help others going through the same thing. Their pain becomes a source of wisdom and strength that ripples outward, touching lives they may never even meet. This idea ties into the belief that life isn't just about avoiding bad things, it's about how we respond to them. Bad things challenge us to find meaning, to grow, and to create something positive from the pain. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychologist, wrote about this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. He explained that even in the darkest times, finding purpose can give us strength to endure and grow. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that life's struggles are part of a much larger story. The challenges we face might not make sense in the moment, but over time, they shape who we are and how we contribute to the world. They teach us about resilience, compassion, and the power of hope. Even when bad things happen, they don't define us. What defines us is how we respond, whether we let those moments break us or build us into something stronger. Life is not perfect, and it's not always fair, but it is always a journey of growth and discovery. In the end, bad things happening to good people is not just a question of fairness. It's a reflection of life's complexity, the lessons we learn, and the ways we rise above hardship to create something meaningful. Thank you for following this journey of understanding. Life's challenges may not always make sense, and they may leave us questioning why the world can feel so unfair at times. But here's the truth. Every struggle, every hardship, and every unanswered question carries the potential to shape us, strengthen us, and lead us to something greater. The fact that you're here, reflecting on these ideas, shows that you have the courage to face life head-on, to grow, and to find meaning even in the toughest moments. If this video opened your eyes, inspired you, or made you think differently about your journey, take a moment to hit the like button. And if you want to dive deeper into topics that empower you, hit that subscribe button so we can continue this journey together. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's one lesson you've learned from a challenging time in your life? Let's create a community where we lift each other up and find strength in our shared stories. You're not alone, and your journey is worth sharing.